Ladies and gentlemen, there are three individuals in this country who will do everything possible to ensure that William Ruto is not declared the next president of the Republic of Kenya. That's the honest truth. Fred Matiang'i cannot allow Ruto to become president of the Republic of Kenya if he had powers to stop him. The cabinet secretary for ICT, Joe Mucheru, cannot allow William Ruto to become the next president of the Republic of Kenya if he had powers to. Karanja Kibicho can never allow William Ruto to become the next president of the Republic of Kenya if he had the power. William Ruto can become the next president of the Republic of Kenya, but as long as those three individuals will not have influence or power. And that's why I want to ask you this simple question. Assuming you are the cabinet secretary for ICT, and you had powers to either manipulate the system or to stop William Ruto from rigging himself, what would you do? The truth of the matter is that if William Ruto were to be declared the president today, people like Fred Matiang'i, Karanja Kibicho, and the cabinet secretary for ICT will not even attend his swearing in. And if you've been following the politics of this country of late, William Ruto and his brigades have actually trained their eyes on one man, Joe Mucheru. And in one of my videos here, I explained why Joe Mucheru, because there are several other cabinet secretaries who are campaigning. Peter Munya is campaigning. The cabinet secretary for Interior has endorsed Raila Odinga. Keriako Tobiko is campaigning. Almost all cabinet secretaries are publicly campaigning for Raila Odinga. But William Ruto and his brigades have picked on one gentleman called Joe Mucheru. And last week, they wrote a letter to IEBC. And Joe Mucheru has now delivered this disturbing message to William Ruto and his brigades. According to Joe Mucheru, he's only going to do one thing. He's only going to ensure that Raila Odinga's votes are protected. Protected from what and from who? And what message is he trying to tell Kenyans by claiming that he's only going to ensure that Raila Odinga's votes are protected? In this video, I want us to dissect that heavy statement from Joe Mucheru, what it means, why he's telling Ruto and his brigades that for him he's not interested in rigging Raila in, but he's only interested in protecting Raila Odinga's votes. Before we get into all those details, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two and click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, let us get back to business and focus on the statement by Joe Mucheru that initially had stated that for him is just going to ensure that the elections in this country is free and fair. In fact, that's why William Ruto and the brigades took him to IEBC. And I asked myself, Kwani, what's happening? Free and fair elections is what Ruto and his brigade should be actually advocating for. But for them, they interpreted that to mean that Mucheru was campaigning for Raila Odinga. But of course, Joe Mucheru and almost all cabinet secretaries are currently campaigning for Raila Odinga. But the statement that is going to protect Raila Odinga vote means a lot. Protecting them from where? Remember, in the last two elections, Raila Odinga has always claimed that his victory was stolen. And in the last election, Raila Odinga even had people who were calling, they were calling that time the vote protection unit. So these guys were just ensuring that Raila Odinga's votes were never stolen. But remember, once they were delivered to server, they were changed. Once Musando Chris was eliminated, these guys had a field day in changing the figures, and that's why the Supreme Court ended up nullifying that particular election. But what message was Joe Mucheru trying to send by telling Ruto and anybody who cares that they're going to protect Raila Odinga's vote? Number one, the first message he's sending, which is coming out very clearly, is that Raila Odinga's votes have always been stolen. Otherwise, he would not have stated that statement, because Raila Odinga has always had the people, the support, and everything. The only thing he's been lacking is the deep state. And Joe Mucheru has always stated that in the last election, he campaigned with Ruto. He did all these things when they were together. So which means Raila Odinga has always won those elections, and his votes have always been stolen. And this time around, is assuring Kenyans that Raila Odinga's votes is what they're going to protect. Those votes are not going to be stolen. That's what Joe Mucheru is saying in a polite way, in my view, that Raila Odinga's votes have always been stolen. They are there, have always been stolen. But this time around, Raila Odinga is going to win, because we are not going to allow anybody to steal those votes. Remember, William Ruto was at the center of Jubilee campaigns in 2013 and 2017. And if there is any scheme, if there was any scheme of if they rigged, William Ruto was part and parcel of that scheme at that particular time. And probably that's why Joe Mucheru is telling him that this time around, nobody is going to steal Raila Odinga's votes. We are going to be there and we are going to protect. Number two, I think Joe Mucheru is also sending a coded message to Kenyans that there is scheme by William Ruto and the brigades to actually interfere or steal the elections. And that his role as the cabinet secretary for ICT is simply to thwart those attempts by ensuring that Raila Odinga's votes will count. Basically, I think Joe Mucheru is the antidote of Davis Chirchir. Davis Chirchir is a close associate of William Samoei Ruto. In the last election, Davis Chirchir was President Uhuru Kenyatta's chief agent at the tallying center, which means as the chief agent, he had access. In fact, it is alleged that in the last election, Davis Chirchir is the one who had the IEBC chairperson's password, the one which was used to change so many things, that Chebukati didn't even have. He never logged in as the chairperson of IEBC. So that's how serious it is. And if those allegations are true, if they're true, I'm not saying they're true, but if they are true, it means Joe Mucheru and Davis Chirchir were actually part and parcel of all these schemes. So he understands this and is telling Ruto that in case you are still hoping to steal the elections the way we did, this time around, it will be different. We are going to stop any schemes. Number three, in my view, I think Joe Mucheru is also trying to provoke the Deputy President, William Ruto, and his team. The truth of the matter is that William Ruto and his team are normally reactive. So the best way to deal with them is to provoke them. Once you provoke the deputy president, his allies will move around the country talking about the same subject. So I think Joe Mucheru is still keen on provoking these people. So he issues a statement, he lets these guys go out. Like you see, when Ruto and Mudavadi and the entire Kenya Kwanza brigades camped in the larger Mount Kenya region, Mudavadi was tasked with the issue of vote rigging, with the issue of ICT Cabinet Secretary, Joe Mucheru. He was the guy. So it means last week, you would have expected, now after last week, you'd have expected Joe Mucheru to tone down. And because he was the subject last week, what he did, he has weighed in again. So we should expect Kipchumba Murkomen, we should expect the rest of the team to be provoked and then make him the subject of discussion again. So I think he's just keen on provoking these guys. Number 4, in my view, I think Joe Mucheru is also trying to put IEBC to their defense. Ruto and his brigades, today is a bit cold here, by the way. Ruto and his brigades wrote a letter to IEBC that Joe Mucheru should be barred or should resign or stop participating in campaigns. In the last election, the ODM party wrote a letter to IEBC about the involvement of government officials in campaigns. The same IEBC chairperson, Wafula Chebukati, wrote back to ODM and to the media and addressed the media that the only public servants exempted from that rule or that law were the cabinet secretaries, because they are appointees. So Uhuru, Ruto, and their cabinet secretary continued campaigning in the last election until the last minute. Then how do you come now and tell? How do you come like Wafula Chebukati? How do you expect Wafula Chebukati to now come and respond that the cabinet secretaries should not campaign when they allowed them to campaign, when they issued a statement in the last election that they are free to campaign, because the law has not been changed. It's still the same law. So basically, Joe Mucheru is trying to put the IEBC into their defense so that they can actually go ahead and defend some of these accusations. Number 5, in my view, I think Joe Mucheru is also just trying to tell Kenyans that, there is something called a deep state in this election. And the deep state can influence this election either in a big way or in a small way. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. In case you are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two, click that subscribe button, so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. In my next video, I want us to look at the 5 counties or 6 counties which are giving Raila Odinga serious political headache. Remember, I did the same video for Ruto, so I must do one for Raila. And I'm getting very interesting feedbacks, especially on that particular video, on counties giving Ruto headache. So I want you to also participate in this. Please let me know in the comment section any county which you think is giving Raila Odinga serious political headache moving forward. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. Bye-bye.